Okay, we're back with problem 87. We've got a graph of f prime. We do not need a calculator for this yet again, and the problem itself is saying how many relative maxima does f have on the open interval -7 to 7. Now, very important here that this is an open interval, because if it was a closed interval, we'd have to look at the endpoints and we'd have to say, okay, positive slope going up to something that is a max. We don't need to look at that because it is open. So that's actually not relevant. And if you're confused on what I just said, please bring this up in class because that's just very important what I said. So, and actually this would represent, if this was an endpoint, if this was including the endpoints, this would also be a max because we're starting off with negative slope. You can see this is negative, so we start off with negative slope, so the endpoint would be a max. But again, that is not relevant based upon the fact that the endpoints don't matter because of the interval. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the inside critical points, and we're looking for a relative maxima. Well, when does that happen? That happens when we have f prime going from positive to negative, forming that max. So where does this graph go from positive to negative? Well, let's look at those points where it crosses the x-axis. Here, at this first critical point, we're not going from positive to negative. We have negative values and then positive values, so that's not a max. Turns out that's a relative min. Here, we have positive to positive. We do touch 0, but that's one of those bounce points. And right here is where we have a relative max. So the answer is A, only 1 point do we have a relative max. The conversation about the endpoints is really, really important. If this problem, yet again to harp on it, if this problem was written slightly different and we had those lines right there, the answer to this problem would be answer choice C. But because it does not include the endpoint, it is an open interval, our answer is A. Okay, really, really important concept here. I'll see you guys back for problem 88.